G Fuel. We're saying G Fuel now. I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Welcome everybody. This is one of again, like I keep saying this every stream, but every single time it's just super exciting. There's so much news and things to share. And yeah, this is essentially, I would say, is the green stream. I think that's the name as well. I think we should start calling that since we're the green chain. And we're going to be talking about the latest announcement just around fuel season and obviously the sunsetting of our fuel points. It was probably a very exciting campaign that everybody had, but we know that like since TGE that the whole need for the point system fell away, and we're looking at like new and interesting ways to essentially grow the ecosystem. So before I introduce the projects that we have joining on the stream today, I'd like to just give a quick little intro to DeFi Sam, who's basically the DeFi chat of Fuel. Sam, I don't know if you want to quickly introduce yourself. I don't think anybody's met you yet, so yeah.
Sure. Hey, nice to meet, and thanks for the intro, Wayne. I'm Sam. I've been helping out with the team since December. I've been working closely with Nick on DeFi and the ecosystem, as well as all these projects. So very excited to discuss what we have in store.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So I think, like between you and DeFi Next, so just FYI everybody, we've got like two Sams and two Nicks within Fuel. So we've got DeFi Sam, and then I know we have Nick, the CEO, but we also have DeFi Nick, just for clarity. So that's how I've like made the difference between the two. And DeFi Nick and DeFi Sam have basically been in the weeds and on crafting like a program to essentially expand ecosystem growth. So playing the dumb guy, Sam, like would love to just get a sense as to what the program is, why should we care, what can we do about it? Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what the program is, Fuel Season 1, it's a launch of a structured program, and it's aimed at expanding the ecosystem at Fuel by incentivizing participation and driving liquidity and supporting development, right? So the idea here is we had a points program, and we're transitioning into tokens and TGE, and given the timing, it's a perfect opportunity for us to start rewarding users who are interacting with these applications with Fuel tokens. So what will actually happen is, the purpose of it is to support the DeFi builders in our program by providing liquidity incentives and accelerate the adoption of these applications in the ecosystem. And it's really twofold, right? So you need proper liquidity to have proper user experience for them to transact and interact with these applications, but also it also helps with bootstrapping TVL. So creating this flywheel effect from both the supply and demand side. We can get a little more into like the program structure itself. So if you think about participating applications, we chose the very top tier projects in this first round in terms of the participants, and each of these projects are being rewarded in Fuel tokens to the pools, and the distribution starts in two stages, right? So there's over the 45-day period, there'll be two distributions, one on day 30 and one on day 45, and then the rewards will be all very merit-based, based off of proportionate to the user's liquidity. There's a lot of interesting benefits for Fuel Season 1. There'll be increased liquidity with DeFi operations, and a lot of interesting ways for users to interact among the different applications altogether. So this is one of the first seasons that we've planned for 2025, with a lot of additional projects and initiatives to be added over time.
It's amazing. I think, and I think it's just like, it's about time. I actually had like a lot of feedback from the users just saying like, basically when incentives and how do they get this going. So I definitely see this like definitely kickstarting the flywheel effect for sure. I think maybe just a really stupid statement just for the audience is that like a lot of people are concerned about the bridging and the bridging time. So I don't know if anybody's like had the chance to just have a look at the ecosystem page, but we do have quite a few third-party bridges that are near instant to get assets over from most of the L2s and most of the L1s, like even Tron, funny enough. So there's that, and also the withdrawal time is substantially less than 7 days if you go through these third-party bridges. So if you're looking for a quick and easy way to get your capital onto Fuel, I suggest go looking at the Fuel ecosystem page. It should be all there. Cool. So I think, Sam, thanks for the quick intro. I think I'm going to start with Mira. So Brennan, would love to hear about you guys, what your plan is, what people can do on Mira to basically maximize this. What do you guys have in store? Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much. Guys, awesome to be here. Such an exciting moment in the Fuel ecosystem. At Mira, I want to say first and foremost that we heard the traders. Everything that we've heard about pricing being not deep enough this is an awesome opportunity for us to get to change that. So we've gotten to massively incentivize a couple of our key pools, which are really going to make a huge difference to people converting from a range of assets. And we're really excited. We're really excited about Fuel Season 1 coming out. We've got updates to our liquidity provider page that are coming in. And yeah, I think that very, very shortly, you guys are going to see Mira become the home for liquidity on Fuel. Wayne, you're muted.
There you go. My control panel meeting must stop there. Apologies. Maybe just a quick one before we hop over to the other teams. Like, is there any upcoming features that we should maybe know about Mira that you're allowed to
share? Yeah, let's. Well, so for one, we're doing a huge revamp for our liquidity page. We're one other one that I can share that's already live that's kind of exciting is that we allow people to track their liquidity, to track their incentives inside of our protocol while things are going on. So anywhere that you've LP'd, you're going to be able to see on our top right bar just how many points and assets you've likely accrued. There's some indexer issues, so the final value might be slightly different, but I think it's a really nice way for people to get to see their running track of exactly how successful this program has been. It's kind of like an inline simulation.
Nice. Epic. Yeah, I think that was the one thing that you guys are dropping, that is just managing LP positions in app. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to shout out the guy that requested it, but the request has been heard, so I'm really happy about that. So let's maybe move on to Yuri from Swaylend. Absolute Chaz that came in and built a rock sturdy lending protocol. I've been doing multiple looping strategies myself, just because I enjoy testing and using the product, but would love to hear from you guys, what can the user do during this program? What incentives do you guys have, and any upcoming features that we should be aware of?
Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, we are really keen to be part of the program. What we have now is we want to incentivize a good liquidity which basically grow our TVL on the earn side and also on the borrow side. So that's why we are implementing that on both sides. So we are more or less putting the rewards on the borrow side, where you can basically borrow and earn on the same time. So for the time being, what we have is we put the API on the borrowing side, and you can currently be delta positive. That means that you are earning more than you are basically paying for borrow, which is a great way how to incentivize borrow. And on the other side, we are also doing the rewarding of the earn side, where you can just supply the money and earn additional boosting rewards, which are paid in fuel. And what we kind of wanted to incentivize is good liquidity. That means that we want to add a boost on the pairs, which we are looking as a strong assets on fuel. And based on that, we kind of will incentivize Ethereum and USDT and also fuel to be used as a collateral. So in case you are using the collateral and doing the borrow strategy, you will be applicable to do that. On top of that, when this seasons will end, we are planning to do a multiple similar strategies, or let me say seasons, where other participants and our partners work basically incentivize our platform and their tokens as a collateral and boost our APR on top of that. So this is more or less on this side. What exciting is coming? Yeah, we have a bunch of things already in roadmap. What we want to achieve is kind of more in new more institutional way, where we can do the more advanced dashboards, where we can show more data, and also be kind of user friendly to give the user experience, which basically is not part of the Web3 yet, and especially DeFi, where they can export the stuff and so on and so forth. And we want to also kind of add additional markets, which will fulfill also the needs for other, stable coins. We want to be closely connected with the other teams. So we are planning to do kind of incentivized campaign with other teams. And also on top of that, USDF as a partner could be used as a collateral, and then also spin it as a market later on when the adoption will be right. And on top of that, we will add new price oracle, which will enable us also adding a new collateral types, which will be more, let me say, applicable for that, and list additional partners and grow the liquidity on Fuel.
Yeah.
Onboarding other, liquid stake tokens or some other stuff.
Oh, you're hinting at stuff that we haven't said anything yet. But yeah, amazing.
We are working on that.
Cool. Well, I think bye-bye. I think it would be nice to just kind of tap into Griffy a bit. So obviously, Mira and Swaylend are quite DeFi heavy protocols, and not to say that Griffy isn't, but I would argue that Griffy is more consumer facing, more for the average user to be able to come in and just kind of make some bets and predict a couple of things. And obviously the user experience there is substantially easier to grasp. So maybe tying into this program and the existing points that you guys have, what can a user do, and what do you guys have in store for us?
All right. Thanks, Wayne. So first of all, I just want to tell everyone, I think we are early in this ecosystem, right? And looking the year which is still going, and I don't think this year is still started. The Fuel ecosystem is growing, and we have a lot of alphas coming. I think they're redacted, and there are like a lot of exciting stuff which is happening. So I would firstly want to thank everyone who has supported Griffy in this while. And for those people who do not know what Griffy is, so we are basically a prediction market where all the order matching actually happens on chain using predicates, which is stateless. And then, so basically that is what we do. And then coming on to some alphas, which I can drop before you asking, right? So our ideology has always been that we should, bring in the best in the world UX to users. So since the day one, we have been gasless, and we have, been adding these features, constantly talking to our users that what do you think which we can improve. So we have a very, very pretty UI/UX thing coming very, very soon. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell you this. And then on the second part, right? So I think which you, I think briefly touched upon, that people bringing in funds from other chains to Fuel. So we have also integrated this deposit, button where you can just click and you can get your funds onto Fuel from other chains. And for using Griffy, you don't need to, bring on to ETH. You can just bring on USDT and just start trading in a gasless way. And some interesting thing which you can also do, you can, if you have some other funds, you can swap it on Mira, then take on that USDT, come on to Griffy, make some prediction, and probably, go crazy with it. And again, you can borrow some USDT from Swaylend. And then coming on to the fuel season one. So I think the fuel season one is to incentivize the people who are providing active liquidity. So we have already planned what we are going to do and how we are going to distribute these points. So what you can do, you can, head on to trade.griffy.app, start predicting, and you will be earning 1 point per dollar per hour. And for the matched orders, and 0.1 point per dollar per hour for the unmatched orders. And what you need to do to be eligible for this season one participation is that you need to follow us on Griffy, so then you can get all the alphas on the latest, turn on those bell notification, whatever. And then you need to do a minimum trading volume of $5,000 throughout this 45-day period. So as promised that all of the Griffy Amplify users will get 2x point. So my 2 cents would be, hold tight to your NFTs and start predicting.
That's amazing. Just out of interest, what markets are you guys cooking up at the moment? Like what interesting ones, what categories that people might take a liking to?
So I think people are already digging into football a lot, So we have some new markets which are rugby and tennis, which are coming in very soon, because there are like hardcore people on the sports front who want to, put some predictions over there because they know a lot about it. Then we have some of the Degens market where we say that, do you think this KOL will have 1% mindshare? So let's say, do you think Vitalik will have 1% mindshare by end of this week? So that is something which we run. Then we also have these BTC ETH polls, which runs every 10 minutes, right? So let's say you are sitting on a Sunday, right? There is no movement in the market. You could still earn up to 2x to 50x within these 10 minutes if you predict correctly. And then we also run
every 10 minutes, you said. That's insane.
Yes, every 10 minutes. So let's say there is not much movement, right? But still you could, predict correctly the price at the end of those 10 minutes, and you could, go wild with it. And then we also run these fuel specific polls as well. So I think fuel hit their ATH when there was this poll running on Griffy, right? That will fuel hit the 750 mil FDV by end of this week. And I think one day before that, fuel was, right at it. So we run all of these polls as well. So that is something which we do. And I think we'd be open to the suggestions. So you could either hop into my DMs or, tag us on Twitter. We could take your suggestions. And I think something I forgot to mention, that I think users everywhere around the world will be able to create their own polls very, very soon. So
yeah. I was about to say surely it's going to be quite seamless to start making markets. Also, I'm supposed to be saving up for a wedding, and now I'm going to lose all my money on Griffy. Sunday thing. That's pretty insane.
I mean, Wayne, you can make it all back if you bet on the pool that says, "Will Donald Trump wear a red tie at his inauguration?" I'm feeling like you will. So if you go all in, you might.
You should wear a green tie.
So, you might have the grandest wedding of all time, if you predict right.
This is going to be me on a Sunday. This is Wayne on a Sunday. I'm going to be anyway. So Griffy is denominated in USDT, right? So when USDF on Griffy, that's probably the main question. I'll leave that as a rhetorical one, and I'll use that as the perfect segue to Rhett from Fluid Protocol. You guys have just been steamrolling in the TVL, just ranking up the numbers. A lot of people have been minting USDF. So Rhett, would love to know what the users can do on Fluid, and any exciting things that you guys have in store at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Wayne. Very happy to be here. I'm Rhett from Fluid Protocol. We're building USDF. It's a decentralized native stablecoin on Fuel. And how this works is users can deposit several different assets, Ethereum, Fuel, and mint USDF through different troves. And they can do this actually with 0% interest, which is, I think, really important. Also, there's a few different mechanisms on how our protocol works. We have a stability pool, which basically buys liquidated debt at a discount. So it's really attractive yield for USDF stakers. We also have the FPT token, which is already live, which earns fees from the protocol through loan initiations, liquidations, and redemptions. And now we're further incentivizing people to contribute to Fluid by rewarding both ETH or fuel deposits, and while minting USDF. So we've been really happy and you know, of our progress thus far with launch. I think we were sitting around 3 million TVL. We have about 1 million USDF minted. You know, the real goal for us is to have USDF in all the different applications, you know, such as Griffy, on Swaylend, and we're already live on Mira. We have a liquidity pool, but hopefully, you know, across all the fuel applications, you know, as an alternative to USDC or some of the other USDT or any other stable coins. You know, having a decentralized stable coin, I think, could be very valuable long-term for the ecosystem and for DeFi users. You know, part of the reason why we're building this, and, you know, we were inspired by Liquidity, and during the depegging of USDC about 2 years ago, you know, USDC fell to like 90 cents. So there was, you know, and during that period, Liquidity's LUSD remained very fixed to around $1, which is, you know, showed how valuable these types of over collateralized lending stable coins can be. So we've taken, you know, a proven concept, you know, changed it a bit on fuel. We also have partial liquidation, so you don't get fully liquidated, you get 50% liquidated. And yeah, just, you know, and, you know, our goal really is to have USDF on different applications, you know, invite more people to deposit different liquidity, different assets. I mean, again, we're rewarding Ethereum and fuel through the Fuel Season 1 program. But that's not to say we'll, you know, incentivize other collateral too, and hopefully also add more collateral as time goes on. So, you know, things are gonna, you know, maybe perhaps there's like a Bitcoin version on fuel that would be very exciting for DeFi users. I think people are seeing Bitcoin DeFi kind of take off, or we want to be exposed to these to Bitcoin. But yeah, our protocols can be very complicated, but also is pretty simple in a way. But there's various ways to earn yield, starting with stability pool, like I mentioned. Like, it's already a very attractive USDF yield. I think it's around 50 or 60% on a stable coin, which is incredibly, you know, attractive, I would say. Additionally, with FPT staking, so there's a way to already have like our value accrual token, and now with the fuel rewards for season 1. So many possibilities. You know, we hope to, you know, keep growing as a protocol, and again, bringing USDF to other projects as well. And I think that's, you know, our focus.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that the yield was that insane. I saw it was pretty high the other day, but like that's pretty wild.
It's just to clarify, it's sitting around 42% right now. I'm just looking up, and that's APR. So, you know, you can do a compounding effect, and, you know, sometimes APY can tend to lean a little bit higher. So I think it's already a very attractive yield for stable coins.
And that's on which pool?
That's on the stability pool. So basically, you mint USDF, or you can acquire USDF in 2 ways right now. You mint it through our protocol by depositing different collateral, or buying it on Mira, for example. So you bring USDF into Fluid, you can deposit it into the stability pool, and with the stability pool, you're buying liquidated debt at a discount around 10%. So, and you're getting rewarded in FPT as well, which is our value accrual token. So you have USDF, which is our stable coin, and then FPT, which is the value accrual token.
That makes sense. I almost aped in last night, and I was looking for clarification on exactly this point. Thank you for that.
My pleasure. Well, you can ape in now, so you know.
I aped in anyways. I was just almost.
Oh my god. Okay, well, that's amazing, guys. I think there's a lot to unpack here. I think maybe Sam, I don't know if you wanted to maybe jump into a flow. I might be putting you on the spot here because we definitely didn't plan this in the agenda. But like, if you, as a whale or a general user, like how would you kind of flow things between all of these applications? Just off the top of your mind, like what would be like an ideal strategy? You can not reply to me if you don't want it, because I'm just putting you on the spot. Otherwise, we can jump over to like the next few things, or maybe just some housekeeping before we close out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally I could put some funds on Swaylend, get some yield there, get some borrow, get some USDF, LP that into Mira, and then bet on Trump wearing a red tie on Griffy. That's the ideal setup, I think.
On a Sunday, right? Every 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then just, I think if we could just do it in one click, that's the ideal. So maybe there's another product that does that for us to loop it. But I think something like that would make sense.
That's amazing. Well, that's awesome. So I think just to kind of close off a few things, people are probably wondering like what's happening in like the next season. What are the new projects that are joining? Maybe Sam, you can hint at what potential season 2 looks like, and maybe the potential projects that are going to be added to this list.
Yeah, I mean, we're already starting to look forward, right, in the next phase and planning ahead. So that'll include more projects and more opportunities for both users and developers. And we're going to have a larger reward at that point, basically, because once with all the learnings that we have from this program this season, we'll be able to use the rewards more effectively and be more confident about the participation to devise long-term growth. So that season, it will be some new projects. And we'll add some diversity and utility for what's happening on Fuel, and then just ensure that the next wave of applications align with what we're doing.
Yeah, and just to speak to that, that means I think there's like a couple of NFT methodologies that are being implemented. I know everybody's a big fan of Fuel Up, so the memers are not getting left behind. There'll be like a nice complement between them and the AMMs like Mira. And then maybe just like to hint at a bit of alpha. I'm not saying anything, but I think it's just FPT that's launched on Fluid. I don't know about the other 3 projects, but that's like quite interesting to consider. But maybe for other like little bits of housekeeping, is that like in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having like another ecosystem roundup. We'll be talking about new projects that have joined the ecosystem. A lot of people haven't really been kept in the know on that. And you'll start to see like, now that we have the DeFi Legos, there's a lot of things that you can expect. And I'll host a couple of those projects on the live stream to explain what they're doing and how they'll fall into place within the ecosystem as well. So stay tuned for 2 weeks from now. We'll probably have another live stream impromptu next week because the space moves so fast. But in 2 weeks, that's the one that we're having. And then the other thing is people have been asking about like a grant program. We haven't like publicly advertised one, but if you go onto the fuel.network website and scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see a grant program link. And if you'd like to apply for a grant and build something pretty exciting on Fuel, please go ahead. But the reason why we haven't been advertising is that we've also been planning a very hyper-focused builder program. And this builder program is not so open-ended where anybody can just come and throw their idea down, but rather we'll put up a bunch of use cases that we want specifically built on Fuel, and will probably be only possible on Fuel because it'll not only leverage Ignition, but it's going to leverage Redacted, and it'll basically position us for the killer apps that we're looking for. So that will be multiple teams applying for a particular use case, whereas the current grant program is just people coming up with any idea that they think would be suited for the ecosystem. The incentives around that have yet to be disclosed, so stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, so it's very, very exciting times. Is there anything else that you guys felt like you wanted to tap into or say before we close out?
Yeah, let me put on my Fuel community hat for a second. I've been playing around with a lot of these apps in the last couple of days, and I have to say I'm like so impressed with the yield on a lot of these things, like degenning on Griffy, and like even I was playing with Russet last night, and the yields are just crazy. Like this is going really well. I'm super excited to be here on the ground floor with the rest of the Fuel community. It's been a lot of fun to see this thing go from pre-mainnet to where we are now. This is a really awesome feeling. So it's good to be here.
Yeah, I want to join on that side as well. As a user, I can give you one strategy. It's not an investment advice or something like that, but it's easy to put some ETH as a collateral on our platform, and currently you are actually not paying us, but you are earning 41%, which is totally degen, just to borrow it, and then basically swap USDC for, I don't know, Ether again, loop it, on, of course, on Mira, swap it on Mira, loop it, lock it again, and then change it to USDF, and then put it to the stability pool. And yeah, you are maximizing the rewards at the time being. Not investment advice again.
You gotta write that down for us.
Sure, I will prepare some tweets around that. Yeah.
Let me get after you on Telegram.
Yeah.
It sounded pretty appropriate. I'm like, right in Vegas. This is it.
Yeah. You gotta send us your address, Yuri. We'll send you a couple of these shades that I've got for you. You should wear them the next time you start sharing that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bye-bye. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say. Otherwise, we can close this off.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, putting on, the community hat, like Brandon said, I think it is like a lovely time. We see AI agents, we see Telegram bots where you can go and, buy meme coins. I am personally a big meme coiner, not an investment advice again. So you can go there. There's like amazing community, Ducky, Fairy, and Kiwi, I think. And I see there are games coming onto Fuel. And with Redacted coming in, it is going to be a crazy year, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'll just add, being on Fuel and using different applications been an incredible experience, to be honest. Like, and just like one-click transactions, super fast, almost $0 fees. That's really important, I think, for most DeFi users. So, I think just in terms of for all, I hope I'm speaking on behalf of all the Fuel projects. Like, we encourage users to keep playing around with different applications. Obviously, come to Fluid and give it a shot. But I think there's just a really strong core of projects on Fuel, and it's only upwards from here.
Yeah, man. There's more to come. So yeah, we've been hearing everybody's complaints. We're addressing them as best as we can. I think there's so much goodness that's come as a result of that, to keep the feedback coming. And yeah, we just want to take this whole chain, the green chain, to the stars where it belongs. So yeah, thank you everybody for dialing in. It's been an awesome live stream. We'll be back with some more stuff, more alpha, and more ecosystem updates. And I think we're actually doing something quite technical in the foreseeable future. We'll be running into some really deep down stuff with Sway and other applications. So, or potentially with AI. I'll have to chat with the team. So we'll have to see. Yeah, so thanks everybody, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.